It's Matt Healy from the 1975.
Thank you.
It's funny when you're planning things like this and you're trying to get into things like this, and when you're performing at things like this, you have an idea in your head about how you want it to go and how you think it may go, and I think that was better than anything I imagined that this would be. So thank you again,
mate.
very much, and thank you for being here. How's Coachella?
How was Coachella? Oh.
You want me to take that? I'll take that. That should not be your job.
Move it. Yeah. Coachella was good. Coachella is weird, so I always like a bit of difference to what I'm doing, and it's quite a famously superficial environment, so I think that people aren't really there to see bands. So normally when you get to a festival, there'll be a lot of people who haven't heard of you. I suppose that's a hurdle, but they're still there to see music. So you've got to win them over, but you win them over with their interest already there. Whereas Coachella can be get them to even notice that you're there, and then convince them that they should be a fan of your band, and then let them enjoy themselves.
Is there a pressure with a show that big and that sort of divergence of attention to put the best foot forward? I assume that pressure is there for every show, but even more so with Coachella?
I think that, you're lying when you're not aware of when the world is watching the most. Do you know what I mean? Because I know what Coachella is, so I know that it's a big deal. So yeah, so it's kind of like that. I mean, it's not like Glastonbury, because Glastonbury, I grew up like noting famous Glastonbury performances that I would, at least want to parallel. Whereas there hasn't really been that many like iconic Coachella performances apart from Beyonce and Daft Punk. So yeah, it's weird. Like, I feel a bit weird talking about Coachella because I always feel like there's this underlying element of stuff that isn't said because of its affiliations. It's kind of anti-LGBTQ and pro-gun kind of affiliations. And I don't just bring it up randomly. It's just that a lot of people are asking me about Coachella, and I feel like it's a bit anathema to the person that I am to not address it. And it's not. I don't even know. You know what I'm talking about, right? And it's an awkward one, and I don't know if I have an astute opinion on it. I don't. I think that. And sorry to just take it to them, but I think it's important that I address these kind of issues if I'm somebody who... So it's like, I think that because we're all interested in popular culture and music, I think that we all are very aware of Coachella and its affiliations, the negative affiliations. I think that it's often used as an excuse to say, oh, you can't really find a conglomerate or an enormous company that has a completely clean moral slate. It sometimes often is an excuse, but it's also true. I think the fact that people are so vocal about Coachella is because it's something for youth culture, and youth culture are the most vocal people about it, and we're very aware of it. I just think that when we start saying we need to boycott, I don't know about as a customer or as a person, but like as an artist, when we start saying, you need to boycott this, you need to boycott this place, you need to boycott that place, it requires such a level of intellectual consistency in the way that if you start saying, I'm not going to a certain country because I don't believe that their government is representative of my values. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to find many governments with morally clean slates. So what I'm saying is, I understand it, and of course, but it has to be intellectually consistent, and I'm an artist. So my issue with it is that I have stages that's how I spread my message and my music, and my message and my music is one of equality. It is one of progressive thought. It is one of supporting gay people. It is one of supporting people of color and other minorities. And I almost feel like I'd be a bit of a pussy if I didn't turn up to a festival that does have those affiliations and have Eric Garner getting strangled behind me and, you know, like showing images of things that we should all be concerned about. I feel like as an artist, that's kind of my job, to turn up and be like, this is fucking bullshit. So that's how I feel about it.
That's much more of an answer than I thought. I appreciate it. And you're absolutely right. It's a hard thing because it's obviously a big platform and a big stage, and we don't pretend that everybody affiliated with that festival has those same feelings, but there are links to that with the festival, and I think it's smart, and I think that it is the absolute right thing to do, to take advantage of that stage and that microphone and that platform to present other ideas that may be affiliated at certain points in that.
Exactly. I'm not a diplomat. I'm an artist. You know what I mean? And I'm given stages, and I try and use those stages to create other stages for other people who aren't as lucky. So I'd be silly if I didn't do that. You know.
I don't want to make it a little bit more of a superficial conversation, but for me, it was my first opportunity to see this new stage setup of the 1975 with the monitors and the treadmill. How has that been going for you? Are you happy with the presentation?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, trying to travel with our production is so difficult. Yeah. Like, because like, especially in the UK, I had I'm like a lift. I'm getting into the video screen, and it was this whole thing. But yeah, I think that our visual show, like, you know, I've always wanted to be Radiohead. So like, I always wanted to be this big visual thing. I don't like I don't like rock bands. End of sentence. But I mean, I don't like bands who retire into like just the basics. I'm done with basics.
Foot on the monitor, waving the fist,
yeah, exactly.
That sort of
and
stuff.
I just think that like I just want it to be an incredibly visual experience, and I think that, I mean, God, I can get really wanky with talking about our live show. You know, I think that it's a lot of it's about like nostalgia and memory and reference and self-reference and referencing things that our fans know about us and playing with it and kind of doing deconstructed versions of what people understand. And it's light is really important to all experience. You know what I mean? We take it very, very seriously. If you can make somebody experience light with their eyes open in the way they normally experience light with their eyes closed, like in a dream or in the subconscious, that's fucking dope.
It is.
Yeah,
absolutely, and it'll be fun watching the Weekend 2 performance with that in mind, and knowing that was kind of the mindset going in when creating that artistic impression. We talk about using the platform of Coachella to do good things. You, well, it was at least my introduction to No Rome.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Talk about this guy.
Oh, he's amazing. He's like my best friend and kind of just an artist that I became a big fan of, and he's making records on our label now. We did that song together, and it's really popular. So we're on tour a bunch, and we hang out all the time, and he works on our records, and we've helped him with his records, and yeah, it's this amazing thing. He has a record coming out in like 2 weeks, and that's something that me, George, and him spent a lot of time and love on, and I think that yeah, it's just something I'm really proud of, and it's incredibly emo. Very good.
I'm glad you said the word emo. I don't know if you can see. I wrote 3 words on my hand, and they are words that I have seen to describe Notes on a Conditional Form. This record that you have referenced and talked about quite a bit. We don't know a lot of details. Feel free to say anything you'd like about it. But yeah, emo was a word used to describe these batch of songs.
Yeah.
Can you see? It's a nighttime record.
Yeah.
Someone said it's very British.
Yeah, they're all pretty astute words.
Okay.
I think it's very textural. It's very like... It's not emo like where emo ended up. It's not like My Chemical Romance. It's like Braid or like Joan of Arc or Algernon Cadwell. They're like kind of rare 90s emo bands, and it's just like the older we get, not older, but the older we get, the shittier we allow ourselves to play, because we're better at. I think it's about embracing imperfections, and I think our first record was very much like we were making this kind of like 80s movie soundtrack. So we were like, it was super, everything's really linear and really on it and really executed. Whereas this record, I mean, if it stays the same, it's going to be 5 songs. So like, it's very textural. And it's kind of like an emo, like you call garage music, like garage rock music, whereas it's like a type of dance music in the UK, like UK garage. It's kind of like a UK garage emo record.
Okay. I'll have to write some more words on my hand, but okay. It's my job right now to press you on when it's coming out. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be patient and just say we're excited for when it happens.
Oh, thanks. I mean, I don't know. It's not like I'm holding anything back.
Sure.
I haven't even... I'm only like halfway through it, so...
You're not one to hold things back.
No.
That's for sure. Thank you for being here, Matt.
Thank you.
We appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much, everybody of
the
Los Angeles.
The 1975 is a special band. This is a special performance. Matt Healy, one more time.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm going to let you get out of here. Yeah.